Good morning. Today we are going to discuss determinants of interest rate. In our previous classes we are discussed four theories of determinants of interest rate, and also we are explained in detail first theory, that is classical theory. Today we would like to discuss second theory, that is loanable theory of interest or loanable fund theory. It is also known as loanable fund theory. Loanable fund theory means is an improvement over classical theory of determining the rate of interest. Based on this theory, the rate of interest is determined by the demand for and the supply of loanable fund. Getting? Important thing is that interest rate is determined by the demand and supply of loanable fund. Clear? And interest is the reward or a price for the use of loanable fund. This theory is based on certain assumptions, and this theory is propounded by Myrdal and D.H. Robertson, Wicksell, and the like. This theory is based on the assumptions. The assumptions are there should be perfect completion. There should be perfect competition prevails in the market. You please read it as competition instead of completion. It's a mistake committed while typing, so please read it as perfect competition. Perfect competition in the market, that is only one rate of interest exists at a time, that is perfect competition. The next assumption, that is funds are perfectly movable in the market and market is fully integrated. And the third assumption, that is rate of interest is flexible and move freely in accordance with the changes in the demand and supply of loanable fund. That is, interest is based on the demand and supply. And the next one, that is there should be full employment of resources. That means a constant level of income and output. That is full employment of resources. The next one, money is assumed to play an active role in determination of interest rates. These are all the assumptions in which this theory is functioning. Okay. Then two things we would like to discuss here. In our previous slides, we have discussed the rate of interest is determined on the basis of demand and supply of loanable fund. So here there is a question, common question, what is the demand for loanable fund and what is the supply of loanable fund? See, supply of loanable fund. That means supply of loanable funds that comes from savings of individual. Loanable fund means it's a fund available for giving loans. Where it's come from? It's come from savings of the individual, household, business or government. And disordered money which has a direct relation with the rate of interest. That means higher rate of interest induces money in bringing out previously hoarded money for loanable purpose. Clear? The next, credit or loan advanced by the banks. Last one, that is disinvestment by the firms who supply funds kept for asset replacement for loanable purpose. These are all the ways in which the supply of fund comes. Okay. The next one, demand for loanable fund. That means the same as demand for the loanable fund or the demand for the fund comes from firms require fund for productive purposes for purchasing raw material or fixed assets. Okay. The next one, individual needs. Where demand come from? Individual need fund for consumption purpose. It may be loan for purchase of durable goods or televisions or any other home appliances, etc. And the next one, that is for hoarding purpose to ensure liquidity. So these are all the means where demand for loanable fund arises. Clear? These two things determine the rate of interest. That is the theory. Then the third theory, that is liquidity preference theory of interest. Liquidity preference theory means this is another version of the theory. This theory was given by Keynesian, a renowned economist, as you know. According to him, rate of interest is determined by the interaction between supply and demand for the money. Simple demand and supply of the money. Keynes defined interest as the reward for parting with liquidity for a specified period. The rate of interest is the reward offered to the people to induce them to hold securities or income yielding asset instead of cash. That is called liquidity preference theory. And that means preference is for liquidity. Then here also there is a demand for money and supply of money. Rate is determined on the basis of demand and supply of the money. Demand for money, that is demand to hold money, is called liquidity preference. People have three motives to hold money. We know: transaction motive, precautionary motive, speculative motive. Simply transaction motive means people keep some money in cash to meet their day-to-day expenses. Higher the income people, greater will be the demand for transaction. Okay. So always people are keeping some amount of money for meeting their day-to-day expense, day-to-day life expense. The next precautionary motive, that means money is kept for some urgent needs, or it is as some precautions. That means sometimes due to sudden accidents or sickness, people like to hold additional money in cash to overcome these uncertainties in the life. Okay, that is called precautionary motive. Then next one, speculative motives. That is means some amount of money is held in cash to make or to take benefit from the changes in the future interest rates or the price of the securities. Okay, that is called speculative. Expected changes in the future, near future. So these are all the important motives to hold money that determine the interest rate. The next is supply of money. According to Keynes, the intersection of the demand and supply of money determine the equilibrium rate of interest. If the supply is more than demand, the rate of interest decline. Whereas when the demand exceeds supply, the rate of interest goes up. That is the inverse relationship between these two. Then in long run, at a higher rate of interest, demand for money will decline. Then the supply taking back the rate of interest to its general level. That's all about the liquidity preference theory. Then the last theory, that is a modern theory of interest. Based on this theory, both real and monetary factors determine the rate of interest. That is the core concept of this theory. This theory suggests 4 determinants of interest rate: savings function, investment function, liquidity preference function, and quantum of the money. These 3 elements that itself determine the rate of interest based on this theory. An interaction of these 4 factors and equilibrium between these 4 determinants will help in determining the rate of interest based on this theory. Okay, that's all about the theories of interest rate. It's very important as far as your exam is concerned. By these words, let us conclude today's class. Thank you.